Thanks for coming in, Ms. Dwyer.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, I am in my final term of my legal assistant diploma. I previously worked in numerous restaurants as a bartender and a waitress, which is where I like to think that I got a lot of my organizational and communication skills from. But I was looking for something just a little bit more challenging, which is what led me to take the legal assistant diploma through Bow Valley College. And that is how I ended up here.
Okay, so what do you know about our company?
I know that Bennett Jones was founded in 1922 in Calgary, Alberta by R.B. Bennett and Mac Jones. I know that your lawyers devote a lot of time to pro bono legal services in the area, and that you also spend a lot of time with charitable and community organizations. So overall, I think that Bennett Jones would be a place that I'd be extremely proud to work.
Okay. What are your strengths?
I think that one of my biggest strengths is my attention to detail, which is something that I developed through waitressing. There's a lot of people who don't like certain things on their food or want something done a specific way. I also developed that through the transcription and legal document processing courses at Bow Valley College. I also have really strong communication skills, which I owe to waitressing again. Makes it very easy to approach people, to communicate with them. I'm also bilingual, so it makes it easy to speak both French and English with people as well.
So what do you think your weaknesses are?
My weaknesses. This is always a tough question. I do think that I try to please everybody just a little bit too much. It can be kind of exhausting at times when I really should just be focusing on my own work and making sure that I get the tasks done that are required of me. I also think that my analytical skills are not as strong as they could be, but I'm always working to improve them.
Great. What type of work environment do you prefer?
I think I prefer a fast-paced work environment. I owe that to waitressing as well. A lot of my experience will relate back to that. I find that if I'm not busy or I'm not really doing a lot of stuff, I kind of twiddle my thumbs and I'm not really motivated. But when the restaurant's busy or when I'm somewhere where I have a lot of tasks to do, I'm extremely motivated to get them done. Overall, I think that the more I have to do and the more I have on my plate, the more inclined I am to take initiative to get it done.
Perfect. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, hopefully here. My end goal is actually to become a paralegal. I know that it's not really a profession that is regulated here in Alberta. I know that it is in Ontario, but I know with a lot of experience and some training and some guidance from a company like Bennett Jones, I could end up there and could be a really great asset for a company like yours.
Good. What skills do you possess that make you a good legal assistant?
Well, I like to think that a lot of the skills I have developed I owe to both my waitressing jobs and to my legal assistant diploma program through Bow Valley College. I have developed a strong attention to detail, strong communication skills, really great proofreading and editing skills. I've also taken 3 levels of keyboarding, therefore I have very fast and efficient keyboarding, 70 words a minute. I like to think that a lot of those skills will be applicable and are what would make me a great legal assistant.
Perfect. So tell me about a time where you worked effectively under pressure.
All right. Actually, this past summer, I was taking full courses through Bow Valley, and I was also working full-time at a new job at a restaurant called Cilantro and Chive in Lacombe. And I think it might have been my 4th shift, and they gave me my own section, which was great. But they also were triple seating me, which means that they were sitting 3 tables at once while I had other tables at the same time, which is extremely stressful for any waitress, especially when you're at a new job. So it really forced me to break out of my comfort zone and occasionally to ask for help, which is something that I'm absolutely okay with doing. It used a lot of my skills. It used my communication skills. I needed to talk to the customers, talk to the staff in the restaurant, use my prioritization skills. I needed to know what needed to get done first and what could wait till later. The end result, the customers were all happy. They had a great experience at the restaurant, and I think it made me feel more confident in my role as a waitress at the end of the day.
Good. Give me an example of how you set goals and achieve them.
My main example of that, I would say, is my legal assistant diploma program. It was entirely online, and there's nobody to make sure that you're always doing what you're supposed to be doing, making sure you're meeting the deadlines. So I would use calendars and organizers a lot, calendars up on the wall with everything that was due. I would plan out weekly agendas to make sure that I knew every task that I had to complete. I like to think that my organizational and prioritization skills are what has gotten me through the program. I do have a 3.78 GPA, so I'd like to think that I can set goals and absolutely achieve them.
Okay. What do you do in a situation where you disagree with your boss?
I've definitely had those situations before. My previous job, which I worked for the Department of National Defense, my boss was asking me to complete a task, and I was already trying to do something that she had given me earlier that day, so I asked her if I could pull her aside and we could speak outside of the room. I had let her know that I was already trying to complete something that she had given to me prior that day, and I mentioned maybe we could give it to somebody else. And she did agree with me. She said we could give the task to somebody else. They might just need a little bit of direction on how to complete it. I just think that when you are in a disagreement with your boss or something like that, you should always pull them aside, never speak to them in front of other people, and you should always be extremely respectful. If I was wrong in the situation, I would absolutely admit to that, and I would do my best to do whatever it was that my boss needed me to do. However, I would also expect the same in return from them.
Okay. So that concludes my portion of the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
I do actually have a couple questions. I was just wondering why you think Bennett Jones would be a great place for me to begin my career as a legal assistant.
Well, at Bennett Jones, we treat our employees like assets. They're not only people that come to work for us every day, but they're important for our everyday success, and we treat them accordingly. We provide our staff with ample opportunities to advance in terms of training and experience. We offer great benefits, and we believe that we take care of our employees to keep them happy and motivated.
Absolutely. That's great. I have another question. What do you expect in terms of behavior and attitude with your employees at Bennett Jones?
We expect that our employees show up to work with a great attitude, that they're willing to learn each and every day, and that they're dedicated to their work. And the most important thing is our employees bring to the table is their ability to work well in a team environment and accept any challenge that we present them with.
Good. I'm always looking for a challenge. What would you say are the top qualities you look for in a legal assistant?
Our legal assistants normally possess an extremely strong organizational skill, the ability to prioritize their work, and the ability to work with minimal supervision, and that they can keep their tasks organized. Legal assistants handle a lot of tasks during the day, and they need to be able to stay on top of their work.
Absolutely, that is expected. My final question for you is, what would be the next step in this interview process for me?
Okay. We will be following up each interview candidate in the next few days. Those who are successful in meeting the qualifications and who did well in the first interview will be invited back for a second group interview. After the group interview has been completed, we'll be selecting our official candidate.
Perfect. Do you have any other questions for me today?
No, I think I'm good.
Perfect. Well, it was really great to meet you.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks so much.